Oh, guys, listen. I am here for it all. Okay, when I tell you, Kuba, it is hot. It is hot. It is hot on Netflix, Kutabo and the best. I am telling you now, if you do not have Netflix, please make sure that you have it. Okay, or you tune into my channel and you listen to my updates about these people. Okay. Now, I just watched season 1, episode 1, Yaka Beauty and the Best. Okay, and this is where I want to start, right? I want to start where Utabo Besta says, Ukuba, the reason why he's mainly in jail, and they tell he before this whole story about him, breaking through prison or whatever, he was actually jailed for actually murdering and raping women, right? Young women, okay? So, firstly, he says in one of the videos that the reason why he's in jail mainly is because he's always wanted to be in the entertainment industry. He says, Ukuba, he's always dreamt of, being famous and well known and, driving the cars and having the money and just, receiving all the fame and glory. That's where he put his mind into most of his life, right? And he says, he thinks the reason why he's in jail is because of that. So that is his mindset, right? At that time. I don't know where his mindset is right now, okay? So that's where he is. But now we are going to move in. We're going to skip a lot of things and then we're going to come back to those lot of things again. And we're going to go straight to Paul Thusi, okay? So before Utabo Besta was arrested, like the first time when people knew him as the Facebook rapist, right? He met up with Paul Thusi, right, through Facebook, right? And Paul Thusi says that Facebook back then was like a big deal, and before any other social media, so it was like a big deal. And he met this person. And he basically wanted her to host some TV gig or whatever it may be. Now, we don't know how they, I think they're organized or whatever, but we don't know as viewers how they decided, okay, they're going to drive in one car, to go to this place, wherever they were going. I think they were going to that TV host place, right? Or to meet up somewhere, okay? We don't know, right? But they got into one car and Paul Thusi was driving, right? So as they were driving to this destination, wherever they were driving to, Utabo Besta pulled out a knife as they were driving, right? And, then Utabo Besta said she must stop, right? She must pull out on the right-hand side or left-hand side, and then she must stop the car, right? Pulled out a knife, basically, and literally wanted to harm Paul Thusi, right? So Paul Thusi said in that very moment, right, where Utabo Besta was basically telling, doing some monologue about his life and where he's been in his life and how he grew up and stuff like that. Paul Thusi says Ukuba, at that time she did not know what to think of the whole thing, but she really wanted to help out Utabo Besta, because at that time she was like a really, really staunch Christian, right? And she decided, she was blind to the whole knife thing and whatever. And she decided, okay, she wants to help this guy out. So I don't know. So I honestly don't know, Ukuba, at what point did she think, I need to help this guy out, when this guy is literally like wanting to harm her with this knife, But she said that I think it was during his whole monologue about, his sad life story, where she decided, this guy needs help. They then drove and went to church on the very same day. And Paul Thusi was talking to the church pastor, and the church pastor was not having it at all. the pastor like asked Ukuba, listen, why did he do what he did to Upel Thusi? And, Utabo Bester was very apologetic about it. The pastor was not having it. The pastor was like, yo, Upel Thusi, you need to call the popo, okay? This is not on. And then Opel Thusi was like, no, please, 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 please. Let's not call the police. Oh, I Opel Thusi. Let's not call the police. So they left. I don't know what happened, but they left. They left the church. After leaving the church, they saw they drove, and then as they were driving, they saw like a police van like at the back of them, right? And then Upel was like, oh, they can drop you off. I don't know where Utabo Bester was going, maybe at home or something like that. Maybe it was a conversation between the two. Okuba, okay, so where to from now? And then Utabo Bester probably was like, yo, I want to go home. And then they saw a police van, and then she was like, maybe the police people can like drop you off, right? And then it was an agreement gap between the two. I think the car stopped, and the police took Utabo Bester. And Paul Thusi says that she has never seen Utabo Bester after that, like ever again. So Paul Thusi says, Utabo Bester is like a complete psycho. Okay, so what made me think that Utabo Bester was a complete psycho is the story that was told basically of another lady who went to Cape Town with Utabo Bester, and they went to go stay for 2 nights at this guest house in Cape Town, right? And they arrived there at night. And obviously they went into their room. They had a fight early morning, 2 a.m. And then Utabo Bester says, Ukuba, after that fight, like he knew that, this girl was going to leave like in the morning, and like it was over, and like he spent like the rest of his money on her, and then, he went to go and take like a knife, I think maybe in the kitchen or something like that. And then he got back into the room, and he did what he did best, and he murdered the girl, right? So the lady and the husband of the guest house did not know this, right? I don't know if they knew about the commotion at 2 a.m. when they were fighting Utabo Bester and the girl, right? But they greeted both of them, the two owners greeted both Utabo Bester and the girl when they came into the guest house. They showed them their room and everything like that. So it was like they were very friendly with Utabo Bester and the girl. But they did not know about the fight and the murder as yet, right? So the lady of the guest house says that in the morning, Utabo Bester got up in the morning, and then as she was coming to the room, he quickly just like locked the room, right? And the lady was asking Ugoba, why are you locking the room? Why are you locking her in the room? And Utabo Bester, replied and said, no, money, my girlfriend just had a long day yesterday, I don't know what she was doing, walking wherever, and now all she wants to do is just be indoors and stuff. And I think he's going somewhere, and then he's gonna come back, right? Then when he left the guest house, the partner of the guest house, like the husband of the lady, right, of the guest house, then wanted, Utabo Bester to do him a favor, to go somewhere with him. They went to that place, and then Utabo Bester asked this guy, the owner of the guest house, to drop him off at a city center where all the buses are, the traveling buses, right? Or my Intercape and Greyhounds and stuff like that, right? Asked him to drop him off there, and then he quickly got in the bus and he left, right? I don't think he knew that, he was not coming back, Utabo Besta, right? But that lady says, Okuba, she went to go check up on that girl. Like she went like constantly go and check up like throughout the day, like 3 times, right? And then in the evening, she didn't have like a nice feeling about this whole situation, like with this girl in the room, and it's like quiet and nothing is happening. So she decided to just go into the room, and when she went into the room, she found the room in such a mess, right? And then after that, she found blood and just like a dead body. Okay, so Utabo Beste had murdered this girl. Okay, so she then obviously called the police and ambulances and whatever else that she called.